Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Amaya Explains It All. Today's guest is India, who is a warrior when it comes to getting things done. Tune in to hear us explain and talk about the stresses of school, coping with that stress, self-care, and what is it like to transfer from a community college to a four-year university.
Have any celebrity over?
Yes.
Dead or alive? I'm mad at the first person that came to mind, and I'm sure my friend's gonna hate me. Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fully agree with that.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
I try not to get really too hung up about celebrities. Mm-hmm. Oh, it would definitely be the Obamas. Although I'd probably be too traumatized to have them over to dinner because I'd be like, oh my God, they're in my house.
Yeah, definitely that.
So yeah, I was saying basically it's that last semester I was doing horrible with handling all of the pressure, like in terms of letting my mental health go away really bad. And what kind of got it back was going to therapy. And then also, like, I had a friend who stayed with me for a long time out there. And, like, having him around was so helpful. Like, I felt like that was, like, I needed that support during that time. And that's what he gave to me a lot of times. And sometimes it made me feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to be projecting onto them my problems. But having someone there for you constantly when the rest of your families and friends are all on the other side of the country was really helpful. And so I think that's what kind of like got me back on track. And then this semester, pre-COVID, I was in such a better place. Like I said, I finally got back to eating right, working out.
I was going to therapy consistently. I was working still, but I was doing a job that I really enjoyed. I teach at a college, so I'm a graduate teaching assistant, and everything was just falling into place. And that's where I feel like when I felt like I was getting overwhelmed, I would check and say, okay, where is this pressure coming from? And also a way of self-care was like making sure that I put everything in my Google Calendar. So that way I had everything organized and in line, and I knew what expectations and due dates or things that I had to do were coming up. So a lot of it was self-care, was getting reorganized, getting to know myself again and giving my body what I need, and going back to therapy, and then having someone be so supportive all the time.
Yes. Right. And sometimes too, it's like it's nice to have somebody around, right?
Yeah.
Like when you said you didn't want to always project your problems onto somebody else, but also kind of just having somebody who's there and like nearby is very like soothing and and it helps. Like I mean, humans are social beings, right? So being alone sometimes can also be overwhelming and put us into a dark space.
And I mean, you have to respect people. You have to, depending on who you're asking, you need to ask them, like, are you in a space right now for me to talk about potentially traumatic things? And I know people sometimes make fun of that, like on Twitter and everything, but you really have to be cognizant of that sometimes when you're, depending on what you're talking about. Like a heavy topic may not just be triggering for you, it can be triggering for them because you don't know their background or what they've gone through. And so it depends. Like, and so with that friend, like he knew a lot of already what I was going through and like was already up to date on what was going on. And so all I was doing is being reassured and letting myself know, and then having that outside set of eyes to tell me like you're doing too much. And that would be my advice to everybody. It's like, you need somebody who's going to be honest with you and tell you when you need to slow down. And Becca's like that with me. I just saw. And I have a lot of people who are like that with me. And I feel like it took 5 years, but I'm finally learning my lesson on like, you need to give yourself a break.
And taking that advice too is very like, important or like necessary. Because I know sometimes like we don't like to hear criticism or don't want to certain things.
Criticism, but they're helping. They're not even trying to criticize. They're trying to help you.
Right. It's not coming from a bad place. Like, look, it's just like a simple, like you're doing a lot right now. I think you need to take a step back, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Like, how is
You
this for
have to
you?
be accepting of it and willing to make the changes for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you talk to people about things that are potentially going to be harmful, I always do like the compliment critique sandwich where it's like compliment, critique, and then compliment. So I guess like in my case, it could be like, I'm proud of you for going to grad school, but you need to take a step back and slow down, like you're doing too much, but I know you're going to get over it. And so having those kind of conversations that are reassuring but also getting straight to the point are really important, and you have to find somebody who's going to be honest with you about it. And living in the world of social media, we always want to be the best that we can, and we don't want to come off as a failure if we have to take a step back. But it's taking a step back and realigning yourself. It's not failing. It's just getting a better version of you ready to actually complete the task.
Oh, for sure. So any advice to like a freshman in high school?
A freshman in high
To a
school.
freshman and a senior in high school. So like if you could give advice to a freshman in high school, what advice would you give them right now?
Freshman high school. Freshman high school, like I feel like it's the consistent theme, finding that mentor. You need somebody who is going to guide you, whether it is a senior in high school or somebody just with more experience, more life than you, to be able to tell you the realities of everything and being open to criticism and not thinking that they're just telling you no or not letting you do something because they don't want you to have fun or they don't want you to experience. They're doing it for your best interest. You have to find somebody who's going to look out for your best interest and be honest with you all the time. And I feel like I didn't seek that out as much. Like I had a ton of Black moms who were supportive of me and were there for me and all of that, but I didn't utilize them the way that I should have. And I regret that now. I wish I could go back and taken or called them when I was having a rough day or dealing with something. And so definitely finding a mentor, whether it's a mom, whether it's an older friend, a cousin, somebody who's going to be completely honest with you. And for a senior in high school, the world is bigger than high school. That's definitely my advice. Is always remembering that those people who are seen as like the super popular ones, they are bad and like, you know, everybody wants them and things like that. They are locals. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Just like
when you're an adult, like that problem just seems like so small. Like, oh my gosh.
It's just funny because it's like those people meant so much to people in high school. Like, everybody knew them, this and that.
Right.
I promise you now,
It's the whole world, right? Like it's just like everything.
It's not, and it's really hard to believe.
Right, like
you're going through it right
if
now.
you go to college or even community, like if you go to community college, like it's so like you have so many horizons to explore.
Yeah,
and
so much to
people
learn
to
and
meet.
grow.
Like there's no like it crowd in like real life or like people who are just, you know, like the baddest and, you know, you just want to be around them or be one of them. I mean, just be yourself and you will find where you belong, where you need to be.
It's just really about being okay with your path and what you want to do. Like,
exactly.
I feel like a lot of the times in high school, like even I was so self-conscious about how I looked. I was worried about like, oh, why aren't the boys liking me like how they like everybody else? Or like,
for sure, all of those things.
Everybody thinks they're trivial, but I mean, it does get to you. And it's like, I just wish, I wish people knew.
Does,
like,
I mean, it does affect the mental health for sure too.
It does.
You know, insecurities are a major thing, and it does cause us to project ourselves out to the world a certain way when we.
Yeah, you make yourself vulnerable. You do.
Right.
And that's the part where it's just like, what I would tell seniors in high school is that like you may feel like this is it, like, okay, this is how my life is gonna go. But so much changes once you leave. And it just depends on your path. And even it doesn't happen immediately, like it happens over time. But then you are like me 5 years out now looking back, like I'm definitely the furthest thing to the same person that I was like 5 years ago. And I'm different from when I was like last semester or even my last year of college. Like I've grown, and that's
sometimes like, you know, when I'm reflecting back, like, okay, where was I a year ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Like on Snapchat when it shows like where you were 3 years ago, like I love looking back at that.
Right, exactly, because I'm like, dang,
Yeah, it's just like I was mentally in a different place. Physically, I was in a different place.
Exactly. Like
It's just
everything, what
so
I
much
cared
growing to
about
do.
was different. Like, shoot, what I wanted to do like 3 years ago was different
Change.
than today. Like, and it's hard to imagine yourself in this path and like the different ways things kind of turn out for you, and you have
Yeah,
certain expectations for yourself, but you have to be
yeah.
able to adapt and like change a
Patience
little
and
bit.
just realize that like those cool kids or whatever don't matter. Like at
Right.
all.
And
You
what's
go
happening
back on
on
Instagram and stalk
Instagram.
their page where they happen to pop up and a like and be like, oh, that's what you do with your life now? Like it really don't matter. Like
Like,
at all.
what is it, like TikTok now? It's like it's just like, I mean, it's cool now, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
things like fade and they become memories. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. That's
don't
what I'm telling high schoolers.
surround your life on social media like we have to be this certain person on the
Mhm.
internet, or we want to be like this person or whatever. And
Yeah.
there's room for everybody. Is what I
I mean,
say.
I can only imagine. It's probably way worse. Like, obviously, we had IG and stuff like that, like when I was in high school. But I feel
Yeah,
like it's definitely more aggressive now in terms of influence.
so aggressive.
And it's like you really just got to make sure you are strong enough to know that things are not going to be the same once you leave high school. Like, these
Right.
people aren't going to matter. What matters is decisions you make to better yourself and not worry about like the little things that may seem big now, but in reality don't matter. Like I always tell, it's so funny because I was so embarrassed about my grades and stuff. Like I told you, I was like a B student, like,
Yeah.
but I was always like, oh my gosh, like they had the straight A's, like, oh, everybody's always bragging. Don't nobody care. Nobody cares about that once you leave, like at all. So
At the end of the day, right?
yeah, it's
Nobody's like, oh, she got nothing but B's in high school. Like what? Like
yeah.
nobody.
And that's not a bad thing either, because look, it got me to an Ivy League and UCLA.
Right. Right. And look how you've expanded since then.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
and
what I would tell seniors. The world is bigger than high school.
right, and look how much you've learned since then. And even myself, like, I mean, there were certain years in high school my grades were not by all means not great.
Yeah.
Um, and some of it comes from like just feeling overwhelmed, and like like I was diagnosed with an illness, and like how that just like escalated. So
Yeah.
it's very like it's a balancing act. And but I've learned from it. Like I've learned that maybe I'm a person who needs a schedule, like,
Yeah.
or how to kind of like make things work for me, right?
Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
can be the best and most productive, and also not have these negative emotions or feelings
Yeah.
towards the outside world. So what is playing, like maybe like one or two songs that's playing on a playlist of yours, and maybe like one or two things that you're watching on Netflix right now?
Okay. What's playing on a playlist of mine, and what's on Netflix that I'm watching?
Yeah.
Okay, a playlist of mine. Oh, Ari Lennox with Doja Cat's remix of BMO. I love that.
Really? I have not listened to it, so maybe
You
I'll.
should listen to it. It's great.
Yes.
And then Netflix. What am I watching? We just finished a season of American Horror Story, and I don't want to watch another season, but I think I'm going to have to. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of Netflix.
Yes.
And also, what's that one show? 90 Day Fiance. It's not on Netflix, but it's on some other network. But that's
Probably
crazy.
like Clue or something. But yes, I do like 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, and
I
then everybody watched Tiger King, so that was the other
Right.
one.
Tiger King. Did I watch? I'm still in the middle of Tiger King.
Carol
But
Baskin did it.
right, the internet killed it, and I agree with them. So girl,
Yeah, she killed her husband.
and she fell into the tigers. But everybody on Tiger King is crazy, right? So
Yeah, I mean they're all crazy, but she did it.
yes, for sure. What else? At the beginning of quarantine, I finished Love Is Blind.
Mm.
I
Oh,
been
I saw a couple of episodes of that.
Yeah, very interesting show. And what am I currently watching? Oh, I started watching the show called Outer Breaks, and it's about
Okay.
teenagers, I think, and they're basically looking for like this lost treasure. But I'm
Okay.
not,
I'll have to
I'm
check that
not
one out.
giving the best description of it. It's a little bit more interesting than that because a lot of things happen. But I feel like if I talk too much about it, I'll spoil it. So
Okay. I'll be sure to check it out.
yes. Oh crap! We didn't do Would You Rather as our icebreaker, and I feel like
I'm not creative, but you can ask me one and I can answer for you.
For sure. I mean, I wrote it down. I can have James put it at the beginning of our video.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Let's do, if you could have any celebrity over, dead or alive, over for dinner, who would it be? Why?
If I have any celebrity over?
Yes.
Dead or alive? I'm mad at the first person that came to mind, and I'm sure my friend's gonna hate me. Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fully agree with that.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Who would I have over dinner? I don't know. That's a hard question. Yeah, I try not to get really too hung up about celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it would definitely be the Obamas. Although I'd probably be too traumatized to have them over to dinner because I'd be like, oh my God, they're in my house.
Yeah, definitely that.
Yes. But thank you so much for doing this call. Like, I think everything you said and what we talked about was so important. And I'm so excited for this episode to air.
Yeah, just let me know when it airs and everything. So
I'll have Rebecca, or I can send you the link when they air everything.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you guys have any questions or ideas for future episodes, please feel free, with parent permission of course, send an email to my business email linked below.